Hi everyone, welcome to Atomic 16. On our today's lesson, I'm going to explain how we are going to determine the summation of the solution of the first equation, and for the second problem, I'm going to explain how we are going to determine the summation of the values of the variable a. So this is the point. Therefore, if you are a new member of my YouTube channel, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Atomic 16. Well, now let's see how I'm going to explain the first and the second problem. So now let's see how we do. Well, when we come to the second problem, first of all, in order to find the summation of the solution of this problem, first we need to find what are the values of x that make this equation is true. So let me show you how we are going to determine the solution of this problem. Therefore, now let me write x squared minus modulus of 3x. The modulus of 3x, that's gonna be 0. How could we find modulus or absolute value? That's the same. Is that the modulus or an absolute value? So in order to find the solution of this problem, first it's very important to define what is the modulus of this one. So let me define what this in general means. Therefore, you know that first of all, the modulus of 3x means we can just write this as 3 times absolute value of x or modulus of x. It can be written this one. So if you define this one, that means we are defining this part, because 3 is obviously a constant number, So therefore, how we are going to define the modulus of this x, the modulus of x or the absolute value of x can be defined as, look, you know that, or you have to know what is modulus in general. The modulus of any variable means what is the distance, from the origin to the given this point, So modulus of x or absolute value of this x mean as is simply distance from the origin. Therefore, the modulus of this will be x. That means this symbol of absolute value is not important if this value is perfectly positive. If this x is positive, the symbol this is null, because this is now exactly x, because there is no analytic measurement. For example, what is the absolute value of 2 or modulus of 2? This means, since this value is absolutely positive, now this is exactly 2. What's the meaning for this first of all? The meaning for this means, what is the distance? What's the distance from the origin to the point 2? Which is exactly 2. So because of this, now the meaning for this one, modulus of 2 means the distance from the origin to the point 2. This is the cosine. So this is so we can write this way, because there is no negative measurement. So now the modulus of x will be x if x is perfectly greater or equal to 0. If this value is absolutely 0 in number, now the modulus of this will be x. We can calculate that one, But when you take, that means we are dividing real number for 2 parts, On the left of, you can take any real number on the left of 0 and on the right of 0. So on the right of 0, for any real number on the right of 0, the modulus of those is exactly the numbers itself, But if numbers are on the left of 0, now you have to take the negative of this value. This is possible if x is absolutely less than 0. You know why? Because as I have already said before, there is a negative measurement. Because of that, modulus of x is perfectly equal to what? That is minus of x. This is possible if x is less than 0. As like this, because of this principle of this one, because of this principle, you know that the modulus of minus 3 mean what? That is minus of minus 3. That will be Now this means this value, and we have to take the negative because there is a negative measurement of distance. That's going to be 3. So what is the meaning for this? What is the distance from the origin to the pole negative 3? The distance from the origin to negative 3 will be 3. This means that if we move on the left, 3 units from the origin, the distance will be this one. So the modulus of this will be this one. And the modulus of 3 is also 3. That's the same. That means this indicates that we are moving in different directions. 3 units on the right and 3 units on the left. So this is the point. So having this, let's solve the problem. Let's find the solution of this equation. So to find the solution of this problem, let me just explain with 2 different cases. With 2 different cases, as I have already defined here. So the first case one means if the value for x is absolutely greater or equal to 0, what will be the equation this one? This equation will be x squared minus 3x, which is immediately 0. Now this will be the equation. The equation, this one, will be written or described in the form of this one because of this case. See that? And hence, you can take out x as common, so x minus 3, which is going to be 0, and this implies that the products of 2 numbers will be 0, meaning that the products of a will be 0 if either this one or this one is 0, or both should be 0. If either of them is necessarily 0, their product is 0 because any number multiplied by 0 is always 0. That's the case. So because of this, now the product of this will be 0. This implies that either x should be 0 or x minus 3, which is 0. Now x is equal to 0 or x is equal to this one. That means since this one and this one are found in the domain, so this can be one part of the solution. Therefore, 0 and 3 are the solution of this one in the case of the domain greater than 0. Now, let's do the second case. For the second case, you know that means for case 2, if x is less than 0, what will be this equation? That equation will be x squared minus 3x, which is going to be 0. That means for any real number x which is absolutely less than 0, this modulus of 3x will be minus of 3x. Then this can be x squared plus 3x, which is perfectly 0. Now we can take out the common. X is common as 0, x plus 3, which is 0. Again, or with similar principle, the product of this will be 0. If I 0 z is exactly 0, and hence this is 0, or x plus 3 is 0. That means x is equal to minus 3. So this 0 is really that, and hence the solution of the problem will be what? Now, therefore, solution set of this equation will be minus 3, 0, and we have this one. So these are the 3 solutions of this problem. And hence, we are asked to determine what will be summation of x. Summation of x means what is the sum of the roots that can satisfy this one. So these are the roots. Therefore, the summation of x is given by minus 3 plus 0 plus 3, which is absolutely 0. So the summation of the roots of this equation will be 0. This is the first question that you have to know how to do this one. Well, now let's come to the second problem. For the second problem, please try to look how we are going to determine. First of all, you have to look how can you find the summation of the value of the variable a. But what is given? In order to determine solution of this a or the value of a, first of all, you have to look what is equal root c mean. You know that this is equality equation. So for any quality problem, that will be given this way. If the quality problem have one root or equal roots, one root mean a quadrilateral. That means the tools are the same mean, the problem will have one root, is that, or a quadrilateral. Therefore, in this case, you know that we have three different cases for any quadratic problem. That means for any quadratic equation x squared plus bx plus c, if the polynomial function is written or given this way, we call this is quadratic polynomial. So for any quadratic polynomial that can be written this way, will have one root. Is that one root mean a quadrilateral? Is that one root mean a quadrilateral? We have two equadrantals. One root mean we have two equadrantals. And this is possible if and only if b squared minus 4ac is exactly 0. If we call b squared minus 4ac is the discriminant, is that if the discriminant, this one, will be 0, then the problem will have one real root, is that, or two equal roots. For the second problem, this problem has no root, is that, has no root. This problem will not have any root if the discriminant b squared minus 4ac is again now less than 0, not equal to 0. That. So what you have to look from here, if the discriminant, because we call b squared minus 4ac is a discriminant, is that if the discriminant value is exactly 0, the given quadratic problem or equation will have two equal roots or one real root. Is that if the discriminant is absolutely less than 0, the quadratic problem will never have any solution. That means it's impossible to find a real value that can satisfy the given equation. And the last point is going to be what has this will have or has two real roots. This will have two real roots if and only if what b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0. So we have three different cases or distinct cases. So now what is given here? This quadratic equation has a quadrilateral. If this problem has a quadrilateral, that means the discriminant b squared minus 4ac is exactly 0. But from here, what is given from this one? The other very important given here is what is b mean? B is the coefficient of the middle term. That you know that this is the first term, and this is the second term, and this is the third term. So b is simply the coefficient of the second term x. Is that? So b is given by minus of a minus 4. Is that? And c means what? C will be the constant term in the given quadratic, and a is the coefficient of the leading term. Well, you know this is coefficient of the leading term is 1. Is that? So let's calculate what is b squared minus 4ac. Is that? What is this value mean? B squared minus 4ac should be 0. Is that? So what's b mean? B the whole square. This means simply you can take a minus 4 the whole square. Is that? Because if you make it minus 1 the whole square, that will be same. Minus 4 times a is what? A is already 1, c is already 4, which is exactly 0. Is that? So now this will be what? A minus 4 the whole square, because negative 1 the whole square is absolutely 1. Is that? So now we can write this as which is equal to 0. Is that? And from here, what we have? Immediately, a minus 4 the whole square is exactly 16. Is that? We can move this on the right. Is that? When you move 16 on the right, a minus 4 the whole square will be this one. Is that? And therefore, this can be written generally as a minus 4 the whole square is equal to 16. That if we have this kind of equation, what we're going to do in order to find the value of the variable a? That to find the value of the variable a, now what we have to do is take the squares both sides. That when we are taking the squares both sides, we can have squares of this one and squares of this one. Is that? So what's the squares of this? The squares of this will be absolute value of a minus 4 or the modulus of this one, which is going to be squares of 4 this one. Is that? And you know how to define or how to find the solution for this one. Is that? That means based on our previous cases, now this can be defined as either a minus 4. You can take exactly this one, but this is possible if A is greater or equal to 4. You know the reason? That means for any real value, this one, if this object or if this value is absolutely A minus 4 is greater or equal to 0, when we solve this one, for A greater or equal to 4, this value is positive, so we can take out like this one. If A is the opposite, that means if less than 4, if 1 to be equal this one, 1 to be equal the minimum value for A, now for the second case you have to say for A less than 4, is that? If it is 3, A less than 3, is that? So for any real number A which is less than 4, this will be what? Minus of A minus 4, is that? So I have applied the case for the first question, is that? That means I was just explaining how we do this one. You can just scroll back and you can look at how I'm going to define modulus of any variable, is that? So in the first case, as you know, for the first case 1, that means we have two cases here. Now what is this modulus mean? We have this equation. This will be for A greater or equal to 4. This means you have this one, so you can plug directly A minus 4, which is 4, and A will be what? 8, is that? For case 2 mean for A less than 4, this one, that means minus of A minus 4 will be 4, is that? That means you can take this one, is that? And here this will be what? This will be, you can multiply both sides by negative. A minus 4 will be negative 4. So if you move this on the right, A will be negative 4 plus 4. Is that? So A will be what? 0. Now the value for A will be 2. That is 0 and 8. Is that? And hence, this is not the question that we asked. Is that? So how could we find? But now once we already find the value of A, you are asked to determine what is the summation for A. Summation for A means this is exactly 8 plus 0, which is absolutely 8. So this is the summation of it. So this is all about our today's lesson. Maybe if you have any questions, doubts regarding to this one, you are welcome. Thank you for watching. Bye bye. See you.